Welcome back to Million Dollar Listening. I'm your host, Chris. I have Robby here to my left, Nadia here to my right. You're probably asking, who are they and what are they doing here? Well, let me tell you, they are good friends of mine. We actually have met maybe, 3 years ago now, the Tom Ferry ecosystem line. It's probably been about 3 or 4 years. We're lucky enough to have an amazing coach named Aaron Chua. By the way, he's mad at me for missing my call yesterday, doing a recruiting appointment. So how dare you, Aaron?
I love you, Aaron.
He's always mad at me. He's always mad at me.
Always yelling at me. I didn't think I was going to talk.
But I need it like I need it. And we all need it. Sierra, we love you. We love you, right? They're out of Sonoma County, right? Santa Rosa area. So for anybody who's looking for real estate in that area, guess where I'm going to send you to? That's right. You're looking at them. But let's talk a little bit about kind of like, hey, how did we get into real estate? Why did we choose real estate? How long have we been in real estate? Just a little bit of the basics for us. So I'll start with you, Nadia.
Sure. I actually used to work as a hygienist for 10 years. No offense to hygiene, great paying job, but I was bored out of my mind. I did start real estate investing in 2010. And like so many others, at some point I was like, why am I paying someone to do this? Let me just do it. I want a career switch anyways. My dear husband did give me a hard time a little bit in the beginning because I had a little one. And, hygiene, great paying job, great part-time job. And here I am switching to career, working on the weekends, working in the evenings.
It's probably like, you're crazy. You understand what you're doing, right?
Gave me a lot of shit about that. I'm allowed to say that.
You can say whatever you want. Hey, we say things all the time on this camera, and it's okay.
And I always give him a hard time, but I made it happen. And
You did.
That's how I got into it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, I think we all have that crazy story in some avenues. I think I did the same thing, except I was working weekends and wanted to follow my dream. But it was a high-paying job, too. My wife said, you're crazy. I'm going for it.
Giving up the guaranteed paycheck.
And I did it. So I know exactly you got to go all in, guys.
Yeah.
If there's something you're going to learn about real estate, if you don't go all in, this is not for you. Robby, tell me a little about you. How did you get into real estate?
So mine was like a unique path in that I never had any idea what I wanted to do. Like as a career. So I did switch careers a few times. Started out as a firefighter, EMT, then went back to school for journalism, and then went to school for mechanical engineering. Oh, wow. Got like partway through.
You're all over.
Yeah, all over.
That's huge spectrum.
Yeah.
Saving lives to journalism.
Yeah, right. Well, so I was firefighting when the economy crashed.
Okay.
Right, 2008. No jobs. Yeah. Like literally just like no jobs. So I actually went back to work for my dad, who owns a construction company.
Oh.
So I kind of always had that to fall back on, which actually ended up being one of my main careers. Yeah. And then I was actually going to school for mechanical engineering, got up in the middle of my Calculus 2 final and just, I don't want to do this. I'm going to business school, and went to school at Sonoma State. When I was graduating, our last class, we had to shadow a sales professional. So I shadowed my brother, who's a broker up in Santa Rosa. And I was like, hey, this real estate thing seems great. It was just obviously a very good day for him. Like, oh yeah, we got closings today. We're going to go look some $1 million houses. Like,
he made the real estate for you.
Do this. And he's like, you don't want to do this. Don't get into it. Like, I remember him telling me that. But still to this day, anytime something goes bad, I'm like, Rory, why'd you get me into this? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I started doing that. And we started, that was 6 years ago. Nadia and I both actually started same brokerage, same time, right around 6 or 7 years ago. That's where we met. And then we went our separate ways. And I called her one day and I was like, hey, so this whole coaching thing, this whole Tom Ferry coaching thing, how is it? And she's like, oh, you should definitely do it. And then since then we've been,
we became accountability.
We became accountability partners, which you also need in real estate.
100%.
Absolutely need that.
So real quickly here, did you guys hear accountability? Just want to make sure we all heard that we all need it. We all need mentors to help us out because, look, we're self-employed, right?
Yeah.
Self-employed?
Yeah.
What happens when you're self-employed and you don't work?
You don't get paid.
Just come get paid.
You just, so I can't be on the golf course all the time?
I mean, it depends.
It's out there. Working your own hours. Yeah, no,
that's cute too, right?
Yeah.
I don't work somebody else's 40 hours. I work 60 hours that I get to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, how many hours do I work? I'm like, babe, I don't even keep trying stuff. She knows. She's like, client schedules. Yeah, you have to work a lot, and that's one of the best things about this podcast, and why we call it our listening, top producing is the reality of it is listen, we always give you the facts. We're not going to sugarcoat something like your brother somewhat did, right? Hey, we had a great day. We're going to look at $1 million homes.
Yeah.
Paychecks came in. Right? Hey, it's an amazing day.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
that's whatever.
But no, there was the caveat. He told me don't do it.
He did say don't do it, though. He did say don't do it, right? And there's a reason why we say that. And people ask us all the time, like, Chris, would you recommend me getting into real estate?
Yeah.
And I told a lot of my friends no. And they go, why? I said, look, because it's a lot of work. It's not a 9 to 5. We clock out and go home and not worry and be stressed out. Like, we wear a lot of our clients' stress. We're stressing. I mean, we run a business, right? There's just so much that goes on behind closed doors. So you guys have been doing it for about 6 years, same brokerage, decided to team up after Tom Ferry coaching. And then tell me a little bit about building the team. How's that been kind of going for you guys? There's always goods and bads. Don't worry. You've went through a lot of
So here's the thing. We, through building the team, we already, because we were accountability partners, we used to meet once a week and just kind of go over everything. And eventually we realized we have the same systems. We have the same CRM. We have the same, same coaching, same CRM. And at a certain point, it was like, hey, we should start a team, not necessarily because it's like, oh, we want to start a team, which we are both very passionate about. Yeah. But it's definitely one of those, like, if we started a team, we could literally cut our expenses in half. And
work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder. Did that actually work out in reality, or did we end up taking on just more expenses? Time will tell. Yeah. But I mean, and then you start to, she came with an agent. She already had a partner, somebody who she was mentoring. So she brought him over. I already had somebody I was mentoring. Yeah. So they came over to our brokerage. We were trying to figure out where to land. And then we ended up bringing one more guy on. So we had 5, and that's kind of the original 5 where we'll start out. Yeah.
Okay. So what are your thoughts? I mean, building a team, and it's been almost 2 years now.
Yeah, this is our second year. We just started our second year.
We just started our second year.
Okay.
We've had our hiccups. The good thing with Robby and I is we get along very well. I think the hardest thing is, as team leaders, you always have that pressure in how are you going to make your team members successful? And I think there's a fine line between trying helping them versus babysitting them. It's like, okay, if you don't want to do the work, I can't help you. And back to that, it's hard work. I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Germany. I didn't have this huge sphere. I was 20,000 in minus because the first year, because I kept on buying leads because I didn't know any people, And I think and that's when you learn really quick is like, yeah, you need to work hard and to instill that into your team members. That's the hard part. The hardest part for me, I find, in running a team.
It's hard. I mean, I think you guys are, this is what it's all about. Just so you guys know, like, this whole podcast is about being real. Like, this is like building a business. Like, we started in our garage, 4 of us shooting video in my garage, right? Like, to here. And we had so many lumps, and we still have them all the time, right? Yep. And it's hard. And I think, I want to talk a little bit on what you guys just talked about a little bit more, which is, team members and helping them. And you have to help your clients because you got to make an income, right? Like, you got to help clients. And then you guys, from the decent of your heart, want to help agents get up and running. But you can't force them to work.
Yeah.
Right? They're 1099. You can't force them to work. And so, and I have this like hard thing that we've learned over and over again. And it took some, we took a few lumps, and I'll tell you from personal experience, like, I can't want it for them more than they want it for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as I feel that, I have to cut. Because if I'm pushing harder for you to succeed than you are to succeed, I don't know if you're going to make it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we had just yesterday, we were on a lead retreat together. I think Tom Grover, you guys were there?
Oh,
you were there, right? You were there, right? I was there. He was awesome. He was awesome, right? And so I'll give you a funny, this is transparency at its finest for you guys. So just so you know, some of our newer agents, we do Agent Catapult, which is an 8-week buyer's course, an 8-week seller's course. And it's hard. It's not designed to be easy. It's designed to basically either make you or break you. That's what it's there for. You're going to learn everything on how to be a buyer's agent. And I went through, and they all did very, really well. And lots of people showed up. They were engaged and did most of the work. But a few of them kind of at the end, when it got a little tough, when we got into contracts and scenarios and how to do this, how to do that, they put the foot off the gas. And so Friday, I was a little like, I don't want to say upset, but more disappointed, right? Because I'm like, look at you guys. I feel you guys. And I talked to Ryan, and I was like, Ryan, like, well, I mean, like, what are we doing? Like, you know, they hit the hard. We talked about this when you got in here today, right? Being a new agent in this industry right now is extremely hard.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it is hard. And I sat down. I was like, why did they stop? Again, it's hard.
Yeah.
Life's hard. Real estate's hard. If it was easy, we'd all be millionaires.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and I literally go, Tim Grover. It clicked. And I had that recording.
Yeah.
And I sat down yesterday with these guys, and I played that recording. And it's talking to real estate agents, right? Talk about there's greatness inside of each one of you. What are you going to do with it, right? Like, what are you going to do? And just broke things down, and they're like, I see what you mean. Go, look, you're only hurting yourself.
Yeah.
As a team member, as an agent, you're only hurting yourself, and you're almost trapping yourself to the point where you're doing it on purpose because you probably feel like you're going to fail.
You're scared.
So instead of just going all in and really just getting after it, you literally know you're like almost setting yourself to fail so you can say, I have an out. Yeah. And I said there, I said, listen, all of you guys are here every day. You guys are making phone calls. You guys have done a lot of the work. You've done more work out of newer agents than I've seen a lot of agents do.
Yep.
Why did we stop? And they go, it got hard. And I go, hey, welcome to real estate. It's going to get hard. It's going to get harder. And I said, you know what else? You know, the other thing that I said disappointed me, did you guys ask for help?
I think that's what I told everyone yesterday. I need help.
Yeah. But it takes a certain amount of doing this. It takes a certain amount of getting to that point where you're scared to excel to the next level because you're comfortable where you're at. And the next level is where you want to be. But a lot of times you can't get there with the same tools that you have. And realizing that you need help or you need to dig in a different toolbox or whatever it is scary.
It is scary.
Yeah.
It's getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, I wish I would have the name, and Michael will laugh at me because he's like, oh, Michael's my husband.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you do listen to what I tell you once in a while.
Hey, we got that on camera, my friend. Right. I'm fine. Michael. Hey.
Apparently not good enough because I don't remember the exact phrasing that he showed me. Oh, Tom Ferry brought it up. The guy with the buffalo and the cows.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that was huge. Yeah.
So that same guy, what was his name? Gosh, remember. But anyway, he was talking. He was like, you know, hard work. Oh, Michael, don't kill me. I don't remember. But hard work is not a sacrifice. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to do this. It's an investment. If you do it over time, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna pay back interest or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you do it just now, and then you have the rest of your life to enjoy. So I probably totally slaughtered it. But...
No, but it's a good point is that you choose your hard. And I think that's the biggest thing that I realized is, especially the first few times, because real estate, especially as we're trying to expand, as we're trying to grow our team, there's just different levels of hard, and you hit different milestones, and then you take on, what you can handle is it grows, and then you have to add to it. So there's a new level of hard. It took me a while to realize that you're going to choose your hard. You're either going to work hard now and not have to work hard later or not have to worry about bills, or you're going to take it easy now and you're going to have to worry about bills. You're going to have to find another job. Like, you choose your hard. And that's one of those things when you're scared, when you're new and you don't want to pick up the phone, you don't want to call people, you don't want to film that video, you don't want to go out and try and meet new people, because that's what it's all about. Because you're scared, that's when you have to choose your hard. And people don't realize it until it's gone. And that choosing that hard for me, I mean, I'm a very talkative person, so that's easier. But I would 10 times out of 10 now, I would choose that hard. But new agents don't understand that.
And, Robby and I both have elementary school kids, right? So we know what price we're paying right now, but you just have to find that
balance. A balance.
Yeah. Maybe take the kids to, like, I take my daughter to clients.
Yeah.
Granted that I've met a few times before, but I take her to my job.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I know it seems crazy.
And she should learn the value of work, right?
And I want to bring that up. We're going to talk about a few things, kind of non-real estate related, but real estate related. I agree with you. One thing about us and the way we feel in general is like we're humans. And I think when I started being an agent and I was like super professional, like you got to be like this status quo. But then when COVID happened, right, and my kids were on Zoom and we're doing workshops and the kids want their 15 seconds of fame, because my kids love the camera for some reason. Oh. And then I have coworkers that are on there, they're like, their kids will never come on camera. And I go,
you're saying for some reason as you sit in a room full of cameras. Yeah.
Shocker, right? Alpha doesn't far from the tree where it's got that. Yeah, where they got that one from, right? But the reality of it is, your kids are a part of you, right? And like I get, the fact of like, well, I don't want my clients, but like, no, that like my kid's with me, they don't feel good today, or you know what, there's a reason why they can't go to school today. Yeah, but I still have to work and pay the bills. Like, I shouldn't not be judged because I have a kid and a family that I want to support. Like, to me, like, if a client doesn't want me to have my kid around me, then they probably shouldn't be my client.
Yeah, and isn't it funny though? Like, in the beginning, now I don't care what they well, I do care what my clients think, but in the beginning, I almost didn't want to say, you know what, I'm at my daughter's martial arts tournament right now. I would say, no, sorry, I have an appointment, but why don't I want to say that?
Humans, just we're pretty good. I'm not all.
And that's what COVID, I do think that's one thing that COVID like made everybody realize is like, well, I mean, and especially real estate because it's constant, but like you hear that dog barking in the back of the phone call, you hear the kid crying like, hey, can I call you back in 2 minutes? Like, I need to address this. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah. Versus before that would have been like
nightmare, right? Like, I can't do that. I better not do that. Right? I think we need to let, clients know out there, listen, we're human. Like, we have families. Like, I got little kids too, same as you. Like, I manage my son's baseball team and I watch my daughter play softball because I actually want to be a parent and watch my kid play, right? Not manage. And, sometimes I tell my clients now, like, look, I'm sorry, I'm going to my kid's practice. Like, if you can't wait 2 hours for a phone call back, then we're maybe not going to fit.
But also, where do you get your best clients? Probably at your kid's practice. Like both our kids go to the same school. I live right across the street from the school, right? So we're constantly out talking to people. We're constantly like involved in that. And I've started realizing that like my favorite clients, I love all my clients, right? But some of my best clients are either like my friends with kids or parents from the school, like people that I met through that. Like, they always say your vibe attracts your tribe. Well, yeah, my vibe is my kids. I'm a parent. I'm a human.
Yes, you're human. And let's talk about not real estate because you both, and I do know that actually, you said earlier about swimming, and I know you've been doing it. I totally forgot, but swimming early in the morning. How early have you been swimming in the morning?
5:30.
Guys,
1 hour.
5:30.
Another errand thing.
You got. Damn it, Aaron.
No, you know what it was? Did you ever participate in his Atomic Habit thingy group? Yeah. So that's what got me started.
It's funny, yeah. 5:30 swims. And adding on each habit, stack. Great book, by the way. If you have not read it, Atomic Habits, a phenomenal book. Yep. And honestly, I think it's, I love that. Let's talk more about that in general, because I think that's a huge part of being an agent, right? We just talked about it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Stacking, right? It's the new normal. You got to add more. Then that's the new normal. Stack more. It's growth. So yeah, I love that. Let's talk about it a little bit. So Atomic Habit is a book about start with an easy habit, get that under control, and then add some more. And I don't know, you guys listen to Ed Millett at all? Have you guys ever heard of Ed Millett? Yeah. I love his podcast, Power One More, right? And all what he talks about. Very similar. It's something that triggered to me. You get up at 5:30 in the morning to swim. Have you always been a morning person? Or did that change where you kind of had to like help yourself get there?
I'm actually okay in the morning. My biggest issue is by 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm a...
No, one more time. One more time again.
I just get super tired by 7 in the evening, but I don't have a problem getting up in the morning. My issue is getting up to exercise. That always was difficult for me. Now it's okay.
It's a habit. You have to get that habit down.
But that's the mental toughness. Yeah, that's the mental toughness of getting up in the morning, right? What time do you get up in the morning and work out?
4:30.
4:30. 4:30 in the morning. So
let me say, my 4:30 is when my first alarm goes off.
Sure, I am.
Usually out of bed by 4:45.
Listen, I'm not mad at him. If anybody's mad at him for getting up 15 minutes later at 4:45, I don't know what to tell you. But
my wife smacking me. The alarm's go off.
Oh yeah.
But I can't stand that. Michael lets his alarm go off like 4 times.
I've got two set, and I use them both. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I went to the same thing.
Yeah.
Why do you do that? Because I wanted that to snooze.
I want to wake up.
That snooze sleep is a whole.
It is difficult.
But when you wake up and you see, I've still got an hour to sleep. That's
Yeah. It's
bonus sleep.
It's bonus sleep. Yeah, it's like I need to be up, and let me get a little bit more because I know I'm tired.
You do not for me.
I'm so sure I was ready to it. That's not true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like I'm gonna throw your fucking phone if you have your alarm go off one more time, and she doesn't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
It gets her up, and she's like, "No, I'm up and I can't sleep." And I'm like, "Well, put some earpieces in."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Hey, we both win."
Yeah.
And she's like, "No."
Well, the good thing is we don't have that problem anymore since I get up at 5 a.m.
So you're already up.
So we're fine. That problem is
I love it. But swimming here 5 in the morning, CrossFit at 5.
So it's F45.
F45.
Right. I like it because I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, you show up, 45 minutes, there's a workout. I don't want to, that's too early to think, not too early
Just
to
do
work out. Yeah.
Just do it. Just come in and do it.
Yeah, and you don't think about it. You just, this is my habit. This is what I do. I get up. I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm not going to go back to sleep beyond 15 minutes. And I'm going to go to the gym. And then I can think about the day after that with a clearer head. Yeah.
I love it. And that's the thing, guys. It's starting. I love working out in the morning. Not every day. Like today, I did not do this morning because we have a bunch of meetings and podcasts all day. But reality of it is look, if you work out in the morning, you get things dialed in, it starts your day. I think we all can agree. If you swim in the morning, you work out in the morning, you have a better day.
It's a win.
Right? It's a win.
Yep.
It's a huge win.
Stack the wins.
Stack those habits, stack those wins. And if you start your day off that way, you usually finish super strong. And I know Aaron's a great coach, and he's been mentoring all of us for a while. And, you know, he's funny. I mean, what does he do? 16 coaching sessions in a day, right? 30 minutes tackling each other, right? I'm like, what do you eat lunch? He's like, bro, I'm like, you're crazy, but all right, right? 4 a.m. in the morning, getting up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But let's talk about goals. I think as agents, like one of the biggest things is goals, right? We have to have goals. We have to have targets. We have to have moving numbers, whether that's agent count for your team, whether that's units, whether that's whatever it might be for you guys. What is kind of your guys' goal for 2024? Is it more like growing the team? Is it more volume? Like, how do you guys break down your guys' goals?
Both. I think our goal is at least one more agent.
Okay.
I would like to double what we did last year. We did okay last year. My goal from the previous year, from 2022, was to double in 2023. I didn't reach that goal. We did okay, but I didn't. So my goal this year is to reach that goal, to double it.
Good. And here's the thing. I think we all can say that 2023 was a tough year, right? We all agree that there was not as many sales, right? Just rates hit 8% at one point, right? So it was just a tough year where you had to dive deeper and dig deeper and follow up 10 times. And even deals that were close to being deals would fall apart and everything else under the moon, right? So absolutely. So doubling transactions, doubling the goal, and one more agent. So that's from 5 to 6 agents?
So we did lose an agent. It was just we're still all really close, still friends, but it just was one of those things. He had to go his own way, right?
Hoping he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Kyle, this is your
But it's one of those,
I know you miss us.
you have to, it's one of those things where you have to decide like what kind of team leader do you want to be, right? And like, hey, if this is what's best for you, if this is how you want to be, like, we're still going to be here for you. You don't even have to ask us if you want to come back. Just come back, right? Like that's kind of how we left it.
And that's good. That's a good leadership there. I mean, look, at the end of the day, sometimes people have to fly.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, hey, if you want to go and try and do it on your own, wish you the best. Absolutely. If you think that our systems work better for you, cool. Yeah. We want people who want to be with us. And I think that's how you build that culture. And we've really, really focused on culture because, we are friends with all of our agents, right? I mean, I think you see like different just leadership styles, and neither of us really wanted to be that like, this is when you have to do this, this is when you have to do that. It's more of the, hey, let's all get through this together. And so I think when you build a team off of that, it's less about the actual number of agents and more about like the connection. How do they add to the culture? How do they build it for this foundation so that when you go through the tough times, you're in it for the long haul?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think we have set our sights, not necessarily set our sights super high for agent count, but more like, hey, let's find the right people.
I think it's always the right system. Honestly, I think the right people are super valuable. I mean, we've gone through it a lot, and the right people matter. The right culture matters. The right energy matters. Like, I mean, there's so many things like, from going from, like I said, the 4 of us to I think we have about 50 agents now. Like, we probably can do more. Like, honestly, when we meet people, we're like, well, no, because there's energy.
Yeah.
Right, we have a vibe here. Every morning we're making calls, right? Like, you got to come in here with good energy, good vibe. Like, you know what your goals are. You know what your targets are. Like, we have to get after it. And if you're coming in and you're not a team player, or you're not, not willing to kind of like help out your teammates, like one of our core values is share the knowledge, right? Like, if you're like, oh, I got the secret here, I'm not sharing with anybody, well, then you're probably not a good fit here.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it just doesn't work. right? Or we have another core value, which is Be Allie, which is she's not here. She's actually in Disneyland for her 1-year-old's baby's birthday. So how? Oh no, it's amazing. I'm super happy for you. I'm also quite jealous, Allie, when you hear this that I'm not with you. Tell Mickey I said hello. But we have a core value called Be Allie, because Be Allie will do whatever it takes to get the job. Doesn't matter. She'll get after it every single day. She's our director of operations. We had to make some changes in our marketing, and she's like, I'll take on the marketing too, and I'll hire the right person. I'm going to do this, that. Be Allie. So when we go out and give awards, right at the end of the year, she never wants to give a Be Allie award because she wants to get rid of it. He's like, tries to get rid of the awards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's like, I go, we have all like the list of, awards that we give out. And, I'm like, we're missing one. She's like, stop it. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, nope, Be Allie award. Got it. We'll go and face that one there, right? It's not going away, right? But culture is important, like you guys said. And I think sometimes you got to find the best fits. And we know we've had an agent who left us and he came back, Alex Huezo. We love you. He's a brother to us. And same concept we did with you guys is we're like, look, man, you got to go fly. And there's always a door here if you feel like coming back. And we're happy to have him back. I mean, he's part of the family again. And so it's hard. Sometimes that people just need to kind of go out there on their own and spread their wings and experiment, and as much as they might bring them right back to you, they don't know that yet.
Yeah. And
at some point, their goals or their fears or their, what they think they're missing is out there or it's not out there. The saying is the grass isn't always greener on the other side, right? And sometimes people have to figure that out.
The grass is greener where you water it.
You put the work in, right? You put the work in, you're going to wait. That's the reality of it.
But I think that's the thing too, is like, I mean, you look at how many people move brokerages, right? I mean, and it's tough because like, yes, sometimes there are legitimate, reasons to change brokerages, but also like in this business, a lot of it is like self-driven, self-propelled. Like, you just have to realize like, hey, like, yeah, sure, your split might be a little bit better there. Here, your tools might be a little different. Everybody's suite of services is almost the same. Yeah. It's like, what kind of work are you going to put into it?
We had an agent come in here in 3 broker shops in 12 months.
Yeah.
And we stopped the presentation and we just started talking. Like, let's dive deep into you, right? Because I was like, no, we're not going to be your 4. So we're going to go ahead and just stop this now. Let's help you figure out if even this is even good for you. Yeah, this is even good for you real estate wise, right? Like, there's got to be something missing, right? And so, it's important. And people do move around, but you have to look at yourself first. I think the hardest thing for agents is to not look at themselves in the mirror and say, what can I be doing to be better?
I think that's one of the toughest things too, especially as a team leader. And I'm sure you deal with it all the time, is like, well, like when you have people leave, yes, but also when you have agents struggling, and then you start to think like, just as a parent, too, you're like, okay, well, this person's struggling, whether it's my kid, my agent or whatever, like, what can I be doing here? Right? Like, how can I be a better team leader, be a better parent or whatever? And I think when you start to add, 50 agents, like that's tough. Like, that weighs on you. It's like, okay, well, this person's having this problem. Should I have shown them this, or was that on them to learn, right?
But again, it's about taking ownership and,
We're all imperfect. Yeah. That's true.
You can't force them to work, right? Yeah. And I think, it's hard if people say that too. Like, hey, it's like, you got 50 agents, 10 admin, you got like a bunch of, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of lives relying on decisions that we make as a company, right? And it's like, but there's also decisions that we can't control.
Yeah.
And as much as you want to control those decisions, you can't get somebody out of bed every day. Mm-hmm. You can't get somebody to practice their skill set. I can tell you exactly, hey, we're going to do role play today, but if they don't show up to work on their skill set, who's to blame?
Yeah.
And that was one of the hard things for me to learn.
8-year-old daughter trying to get her to practice piano, right?
Or doing homework in the car on the way to school.
All the above. It's due today. It's due today.
Yeah, so do we.
We got sports on the weekends. We got, I'm like, and my daughter's like so crazy. Let's talk about kids a little bit, right? My daughter, like, homework, no, you have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Son.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, son, okay, 4 pages. He's like, I'll just wait till the last day. And, Sunday night, we're all scrambling for homework to be done. And Monday morning, we're tired. He's like, all right, wait a couple more pages in. And like, son, this is not how we want to do life.
Yeah.
You're going to be the last minute guy. See, learn from your sister, right? I'm like, she has got her stuff dialed in. But I hear it's girls and boys and just the way they are.
See, I got my oldest 2 are 2 girls.
Yeah.
They're just polar opposites. Really? You know what I mean? Like, one gets it done, one just...
Yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like I'm like, son, like, take some notes from her. Yeah, like, look at, dude, she is, like, she'll be a 4.2 student. Like, she loves school, she loves this. He's just like, I want to play sports. I want to hang out. I love math. He loves math. I'm like, good numbers. That's good. That's good to know. But, it's cute.
Does he put the same effort into sports though? Like, he puts good effort in sports?
Yeah, he puts great effort into sports. He loves sports. So football and basketball and baseball, like he's all about like, practicing. It's just, school and I don't know what it is.
You got to find the motivation.
I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's, you know what? He's going to grow into it.
You think so?
Well, he's going to have to make grades. Bare minimum, he's going to have to make grades in high school. When he plays school, he plays sports. Yeah.
I mean, with me, it changed in college. All of a sudden, I became this nerd. Like, I was such a slacker during to high school. I went to college. I came here to the States.
Yeah. And then it just changed for you.
Yeah.
So even later on.
There's still hope.
There's still a hope.
And that's why I always tell people.
College like, it's going to be a struggle. It's only second grade.
By second grade. Yeah, second grade. Okay, you probably have a few more years. It's more like 10 years.
What's going to trigger where it's like, I just got to get stuff done. Like, it's not going to not get done, right? Like, at what point do you want to put us under the pressure and you under the pressure?
That is your homework.
And yeah. And, my wife, she's 4'11", Mexican. She's a feisty one. I'm like, Bubba, why do you want to play with fire, bro? Like, stop. And then I got to deal with it. Like, what are you doing, That's my life. I'm not crazy. I have a normal kid, normal life.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
But it's all, I think
teamwork.
It's all motivation too. Like Nadia said too. Like, I mean, I barely graduated high school. I was like 190th out of 200 in my class to graduate. And then I went to Sonoma State and got like a 4.0 because I actually was motivated to get through it. So you just got to find that motivation.
Got to find that motivation for him. He's a tough one though. Maybe I can try to figure out some sports analogies to his homework.
Listen, Tim Grover. Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, but look at him now. Yeah.
Listen, I did terrible in school. Trust me. Listen. Well, I got stories to tell you guys about school. I didn't really go much, so I get it. But it's like
we were just talking about that on the way over. How many times you got kicked? How many times did you get kicked?
I was constantly. Well, no, that's funny because I was constantly the person sitting outside the classroom because I would not stop talking and distract. Yeah.
So let's get back to school real quick. Second grade got held back for not going. All the women teachers loved me because I was able just to talk my way through whatever.
Yep.
Right? Like, Guy teachers are like in the corner.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I'd be like, oh, cute girl in the class. Let me sit next to you real quick. How are you doing today? What are we doing at lunch? What are we doing after school? Chris, stop. And I'm like, what? And I answer the questions, and they're like, you can't answer all the questions. I'm like, so hold on. I can't talk to the pretty girls, and I can't answer all the questions. So what am I doing here? Like, I didn't understand the concept. I'm like, can I? And they put me in the corner. So I guess we all have a little school in us a little bit. But here we are today, right?
I saw that's when we were talking in the
here we are
in the car on the way here. We were talking, and I saw a meme, and it was like, hey kids who got kicked out of class for talking, how's your career in sales going?
Yes,
and it was just like,
I remember the teacher telling me you never make money with your mouth. Well, here we are, got a podcast. How you doing? Right. But few last questions that will kind of wrap things up here for you. So, I always like to talk to agents that have been doing this for a while, and one of the questions I love asking is like, talk to other agents, team members you guys would want on your team right now. What is it that you are looking for in your team members? And what are some of the things that you would recommend any agent, whether they're on your team or not, they should be doing in 2024 to be successful? Two-part question. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'll just...
She's going in, guys. She's like, beep.
So my ideal agent would be someone like I was back then. I may not have been hungry for money because I had a husband who had a good income, but I had to prove him something. He wasn't super on board with this profession. And
on the shoulder.
I had that urge to be like, I told you I can make it. Or someone that is hungry, that this is their main income source, because I feel like a hungry agent, no matter what that hunger is the most successful agent.
I would agree 100%. I think hunger is a very, very powerful way. You have to have something bigger than money to truly be successful in this long term, because people see through money. The reality that most clients know, if it's just money, or just a number transaction, number 30 transaction, like I just know you're just counting your numbers, people see through that. And I agree, hunger is a very valuable thing you want to look in with agents in general. Is you have to have something, or
that drive to come into work every day and make those calls,
or that chin on the shoulder, right? It was told you couldn't do something in life, right? Those underdog stories usually become some of the better agents. And I agree with you there. How about for you?
So I think it's along the same lines, but I'm really gotten into like finding your why. like, why are you doing this, right? Like, my why in this is to like, well, first of all, my parents were always working when I was younger. So that's why, like, hey, this career is flexible enough that I can be there to pick up my kids from school. I can be there to drop them off. But also, like, my why is to show my kids, what it's like to be that good person, to help people out, to build a business for yourself, to make yourself consistently better in all aspects of your life. And so when we're looking for agents, I really want to talk to them about, like, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Like, because if it's just for the paycheck, you're in the wrong. You're absolutely right, because when it gets tough and you have to dig deep, you have to find your why. You have to have motivation bigger than yourself, bigger than your bank account to do that. And I think that it's very similar, find somebody with the hunger, find somebody who knows their why. Because then when we're doing the role playing, when you have to make your phone calls, and I mean, this is great. Like, we're providing our agents with leads, but yeah, it's still calling people that are like semi-warm calls. You're still going to get hung up on in those moments where you're getting hung up on, when you're talking to people that are like, why are you calling me? Right. Yeah. You need to know why you're doing it. And so I think, it's just balanced people, well-balanced people that know that they're imperfect and need help, because we all need help. I mean, that's how this whole team started. Yeah. Right. And so that's what makes the perfect agent, with the hunger, the why, and, willing to build.
I love it. So hunger, the why. What about, let's talk about just agents in general. So we talked about, who you look for in an agent. Tell me 2 things you think every agent should be doing in 2024 to help them in their business. And that could be anything from, prospecting to education to whatever it is, open houses, you name it. What are some things that you feel like, if you had 100 agents here asking you guys on a panel, what would you say are 2 things that you have to have in your business right now?
Is be out there. And I just had this conversation with Robby. I feel like I'm never out there enough in front of people, just naturally, talking to people. I think that's the biggest thing, is networking.
Conversations. In a nutshell, right? Yeah. I mean, that's it, right? I mean, people make this, in every agent, just so you know, when you get your license, plan on 1,500,000 agents. Vendors will be calling you, and they will be telling you they have a magic pill.
Shiny new penny.
Definitely not that. Yeah.
There's not a magic pill, guys. I promise you. It's hard work, dedication. Yes, we've all been there. I got a pill. It's magic.
I mean, we constantly look at each other. No shiny.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. The chances are, right? It's definitely that, where it's like, look, you got to do the work, right? I agree. This industry is really very simple. We make it a little difficult, but it's conversations. In a nutshell, the more conversations you have about real estate, the more deals you will do. Now, you have more conversations based off your educational level and your comfort of talking about real estate in the industry. So if you don't spend time learning, you don't have as many conversations. You're kind of that hidden agent. You're kind of a hidden agent. What would you say?
So yeah, I mean, I think I've got 2, and they both play off of each other. Okay. Mine is definitely be the agent. Don't be the secret agent. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. My Instagram, I'm shooting for a reel a day. Whether that's, fun stuff, something fun in Sonoma County, whether it's like a walkthrough of a house, whether it's a real estate tip, whatever. Sometimes they do great, sometimes they don't do great. That's fine, but I want people to know that I'm there consistently. And then when I do that, because that's like, my Instagram is kind of where I talk to most of my sphere, most of my people. And then when I connect with people from my sphere, so that the second one would be connect with people from your sphere, because they already know you, they already like you, and hopefully they trust you. And if they don't currently trust you, they will trust you when you start making that content to make them trust you, right? And that's what we're looking for, is people that know, like, and trust us. And there's so many agents, there's so many people that think that there's going to be some secret fix that, oh, hey, I'm going to put a bunch of money into Zillow or Realtor.com, and I'm going to get all these leads. When really what they're overlooking is their entire database. And these are already people that you've either done transactions with, already know you. They're at your kids' school, they're their kids' sports events, whatever, right? We really need to start, like, filling those people's cups up, like finding out what those people need from us and just connecting, reconnect with people. Because as the market starts to change, people are going to want to start looking at houses again. And if you're already there with them and you're their friend and you're already doing this real estate, you will be the agent of choice.
Agree 100%. And I will tell you, for agents out there, because we're talking to you right now, look, everybody that you know knows 5 agents. Guaranteed. How are you different? Stand out. Be that person that, like, you are it. This is where the biggest market share ever is going to happen in our industry, because agents are going to start to continue to fall out of the industry, and agents that have a good amount of business are going to continue to grow. The more people see you and show your value without asking for anything, right? Like, I do tons of videos. I don't ask for anything from people. I just want to educate you on real estate.
Yeah, be helpful.
Be helpful. Be a
that-
resource.
Don't be that, oh, do you want to buy or sell?
Oh, yeah. Like, be a resource
Yeah.
for them, right? Be a resource. Be a resource. Be a resource. Like, I just want to help you. Like, whether I help you now, your friends, your family members, maybe I never help you again. Talk to as many people about real estate as possible, because at the end of the day, that's how you spread your name, your brand, your image, and all that other good stuff. Last question. And then we'll wrap things up. How are we looking on time, Larry? 2 minutes. He says 2 minutes. I love it. So if you guys had a goal for 2026, 2027, let's go 5 years down the road. What does it look like to you? Like, what does that goal look like? Where are we trying to target? We do know what we want to do this year. I got an idea this year. What's 2027 look like to you? What's that picture?
When you're at it, church, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I never can answer that properly. I hope I'm still married to
On a beach.
So,
We'll see.
so on a work married to Robby and on a no why.
Yeah, that's fine. I didn't say we weren't working. I didn't say I wasn't working. I work from my phone. Yeah.
He's all got a laptop in the beach, headphones in.
Yeah.
Not these phones. We're good.
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't see myself like you being that big team lead of 50 agents. Like Robby said, I still want to keep that small vibe of trust. And well, not that you don't have it.
No, I get it.
I just don't know if I would have the patience to lead 50 people.
Right.
I still love what I do. I think I do still see myself in production just because I love it.
So in production still, another world.
Definitely in production still. I don't know to what extent,
Yes.
but
So in production, smaller team.
I think I still see myself in production for sure. I think I would like my systems in place a little bit so that it's less work to do the same amount of
Work smart.
production. But I really just being that agent of choice in my sphere without having to ask for it, without having to really push that, like I'm more really about the passive, like let them come to me when they're ready for it. And so in that case, I would be doing a lot less reaching out, a lot less prospecting phone calls, and more just networking, coffee meetings, stuff like that. Like just having it integrated as seamlessly as possible into my life.
I love it. I love it. Well, once again, thank you both for coming in, Nadia. Robby, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all the agents listening to the $1 Million Podcast Top Producer Panel. And if you have any questions, how do they reach out to you? And for anybody who's looking to be in Sonoma, agents, looking for some team leaders, I might know a few. How do they reach out to you?
well, you can simply Google us.
That is also true. Google's a
707-494-5637.
Instagram, Robby Dearth Realtor, and our website, cahomecollective.com.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So we got phone numbers, websites, and Instagram handles for you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon on the next one.
Bye.